Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Oldish TV. My name is Karen. I'm happy to be your host as always. And to those of you who are new to this, welcome. If you've been with us before, welcome back. For those who have been here before, you will know this, but I'll let you know for those who are new. If you have anything you want us to see during our broadcast, pop it into the comments below and I will see it. And we'll have a chance actually to bring your comment on screen. So, this is something where the show today will ask you to comment. We're talking about advice. I'm seeing a lot of advice making the rounds, and maybe people are getting a bit melancholy with the circumstances surrounding the pandemic and, things getting back to normal, but it's not really normal. Anyway, I've gathered up a whole bunch of advice. It all comes from people over the age of 65. Some of it comes from people who are dying. They know they're dying and they're looking back and saying, if I could have done this differently, what would I have done? Other people are just speaking from a place of wisdom. And if you've got some great advice to share as we go through today's show, pop it in the comments right down below here and we'll see it. We'll share it on screen. So let's get going because there are a lot of pages. Well, three. I'm not going to keep you here all day, don't worry. All right, so piece of advice number one. I've learned not to correct people even when I know they're wrong. The onus of making everyone perfect is not on me. Peace is more precious than perfection. Hmm. It's challenging not to correct people when you know that they're wrong, right? But maybe in a marriage situation, you have to know when to pick your battles. Maybe that's what this is saying more than anything. Pick your battles. The second piece of advice, I tip well. Working as hard as wait staff do for minimum wages is challenging, especially in these times. Isn't that true? Don't know a harder working group of people. I like this one. Giving compliments is free, and you never know what's going on in someone else's life. So a kind word can matter more than we know. Do you give compliments easily? For some people, that's challenging. We have power over our minds, but not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Control what you can control, right? I walk away from people who don't value me. They don't know my worth, but I do. Do you do that? Do you find yourself stuck in relationships where you know you're not being valued but struggle to find a way out? Well, this writer says they just walk away. That's good. I try not to be embarrassed by my emotions. They make me human. That's a good piece, right? Always be unafraid to show your emotions in any given situation. That's especially true of men, right? Especially true of men. I think in our generation, men were raised to be men and be tough and not show their emotions. But that's not so true of younger generations now. They are being encouraged to show their emotions. Another piece of advice, it's better to drop my ego than break a relationship. My ego will never keep me warm, but a relationship will. True? Absolutely true. Live each day like it's the last. It might be. That's true. I'm responsible for my happiness. It's a choice, and I owe myself happiness. So true. Happiness is indeed a choice. And I think we all know people who choose not to be happy. They choose to be grumpy or contradictory or contrary. Choose happiness. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Those two kind of follow one another, don't they? When we take things personally, we are in essence saying that we agree with what was said. We may feel hurt by negative comments made about us by other people, even though they aren't true and don't align with the opinion we have of ourselves. We have to remember to value ourselves and know that the comments people make about us are a reflection of their character, not ours. I can agree with that maybe 70%. Definitely the fact that people choose to make comments that are nasty or ugly, a reflection of themselves for sure. I don't know. I want to reserve the right to feel hurt by negative comments, though. Anyway, this is somebody else's advice, not mine. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Right. People can only hurt you if you allow them to. No one has permission to cause you pain unless you give it to him or her. Guess that means I have to rethink what I just said a minute ago. No one has permission to cause you pain unless you give it to him or her. Worrying about what other people are thinking and saying about you not only causes pain, but it keeps you from focusing your energy on what truly matters. The more attention you give to them, the less time you have to make a positive impact on your own life. That's right, eh? Don't give so much energy and time and thought to other people. It's true. Remove unneeded possessions. Getting rid of items associated with past memories frees you and allows you to stop living in the past and therefore removes the power the past has over you. Do you do that? Do you keep items from your past around your house that have a negative connotation? I mean, that's what this one sounds like to me. It's more negative. I do like to keep things around my house that are memories, but they're more positive than negative. But I agree with removing the power the past has over you. And so if there's something in your house that does do that, I know how freeing it can be to just get rid of stuff. Dream about your future, but work hard today. Stop worrying. Worrying is giving the universe permission to bring that energy forward. This I say a lot, and I agree with 1,000%. The universe doesn't understand negative energy and positive energy, it only understands energy. So when you give energy to something, you are in essence drawing it to yourself. So if worrying about a given situation is something that you're giving a lot of energy to, you're in fact drawing to yourself the thing that you don't want to have happen. I agree with that 100%. Yesterday's solutions are not today's solutions, and they are certainly not tomorrow's solutions. Followed by another piece of advice that is a kissing cousin: embrace new ideas. That's true. Especially in this day and age, I find that people need to be reminded that you always need to examine your business practices, but I suppose your life practices too, because the world changes. And just because it worked 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, doesn't mean it's still the solution you should be embracing for today. Don't shelter yourself from experiences. Try new things, accept challenges, seek change. We are never too old for life's education. Ain't that the truth? Always let life educate you. Be open to that. I like that. Choose what to regret. Let the rest go. Yeah, isn't that true? You spend your time focusing on regret. You're not necessarily thinking about how to move forward. I like that. For those of you who have just joined us, we're looking at advice from people over the age of 65, and they've got a lot of pearls of wisdom. Never argue with someone angry, drunk, or ignorant. I like that. There's another saying that's sort of like that about don't argue with pigs. The only difference between you and them will be that they like getting in the mud and getting dirty. I like that one. Here's one that is very poignant, and I think a lot of us can agree with. Live your own life, not the life someone else wants you to live or someone else's life that you struggle to live. Live your own life. Very true. Quit complaining about things. Do something about things instead. I like that. That's a very direct individual, whoever said that. Be proactive. Yes, we talk a lot about proactivity here at the Oldish. Absolutely true. Instead of thinking, what if, think next time. I like that. Create your own opportunities and be prepared to act on them. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. I think I remember Oprah saying that or something like that, right? Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So, in other words, there really is no such thing as luck because if you're not prepared, you won't recognize the opportunity. Stop putting life on hold. I like that. I like this one too. Never act against your own best interest. How often do we do that? How often? I mean, I know I do it and then catch myself up short and think, wait, I didn't really want to do that. Why am I doing that? Because somebody else wanted it done, but if it's against my own best interest, I should not have done that. Be empathetic and compassionate. Forgive those who have done you wrong. That's not the same thing as forgetting. That's a good piece of advice because you can, again, dwell too much on the past and yeah, that's true. Choose your friends well. Choose those who enable you, get rid of relationships that don't serve you, and remember that you will be judged by the relationships you have. Isn't that true? Do you remember being in school, grade school, secondary school, and you'd hang around with a certain group of people, and people would always think that if these are the characteristics of that group you hang around with, then you must embody those characteristics? It's still true as adults. If we hang around with a certain group of people who live life in a certain way or have a certain kind of culture about their group, people make the assumption that that's us too. Get mentors and coaches and ask for feedback. That's how you uncover blind spots, improve your actions, and grow. Practice gratitude. That's very simple, but very true. Be grateful. You know, some people say at the beginning of the day, talk about what you're grateful for in the day going forward. I tend to do it at night where I express gratitude for the things I've experienced during the day, things I've learned, people I've seen. Nature is wonderful. Experience it as often as possible and protect it. Hasn't nature been a wonderful thing during this pandemic when we were allowed to go out a little bit more, but not too close to other people? Walking in nature is always lovely, just lovely. Touch things once, male or an object that isn't where it ought to be. Just touch it one time. Find something to believe in. And last but not least, this is my very favorite piece of advice given, if I'm not mistaken, by a lady who was over 85 years of age. She said this: that pole dancing class you didn't think you could do, you totally can do it. So go sign up. I love that, and I would like to have known that lady. If you have any pieces of advice for people your own age or the younger generation, leave them below, and we'll keep an eye on those as we move through the next several days and see what advice you have to offer. Until next Wednesday at 12 noon, I bid you have a good day, have a good week, look after yourself, take care of one another, and do remember that it takes a village to age a senior. Bye, everybody.